I'm Watkins on sunshine. Whoa. All right, and welcome to this week's track guide. We are headed to Watkins Glen in the Porsche Cup 992 for both the fixed and open series. I was practicing with the fixed. So we got ourselves a 109.940. I think the fast guys are probably going to be doing low 109s, mid 108s probably. We'll see how it goes. I'm really happy with the time I got here. This is the quickest I've gotten up to speed on one of these, but we've done almost every different layout of Watkins Glen. We've got probably, I think, one more to do, which is the boot without the chicane is the only one I've not done so far for one of these guides. But yeah, we'll get there eventually, maybe. But let's go ahead and we'll show you the lap. Talk about how we did it, and then we'll finish up. There's some stuff I was trying to practice and work on in this. We'll talk about that after we go through how we got that lap. But here we go.
Your last lap time was at 110.42. You're currently 0.22 off your best. That last lap was at 109.94. Sector 3 time is fast.
All right, Watkins Glen Porsche Cup fixed setup, standard brake bias, all that fun stuff. Got us a 109.940 headed through the final corner here. Got a decent run up for our fast lap. I do think with the tire temps the way they are, it's going to be, the tires are going to go pretty quick, so I would try and save them a bit, but we're going all out here, getting this lap down. First braking point is going to be a little bit before the 300 mark here. I find the 300 to be just a tiny bit too late, so we're just kind of starting a bit before it. We're going to peak right around that 300 though. Getting on the brakes, shifting down slowly here, fifth, fourth, and then we're going to do a third a bit later. Turning in, we want to get our right tires down here. Trying to turn in a little bit later than my instincts tell me. I have a bad habit of turning in too early, but we're just holding that little bit of brake pressure as we approach the corner here. And then once we hit it, we're going to start putting that throttle in. As we start unwinding the wheel here, just so we can get up on this exit, full throttle, and we're gonna track out and use as much of the track as we can here. We're gonna keep make sure we keep our right wheels on the curbing here as we come out over here. And then we're just gonna full throttle through this next section, turn in a little bit, we're gonna turn a little bit the other way. Just full throttle through all of this. One thing I would practice is going the defensive line through the chicane here. But that's not the fast way, it's just, if you're battling somebody, you don't want to have the first time you do it be then. So I would practice, staying on the right side here and braking around the 400 meter mark, I think, is what I found worked for me. But anyway, on this side, we are going to brake midway between the 4 and 300 boards here. And we're going to have to brake a fair amount because this is, we're going fast. Start braking around the 400, a little bit after, and then kind of peak at the 300. We're going to wait a little bit and then start turning in. And we're going to downshift to 5th and kind of keep it in 5th. And we go to 4th. I have found that like downshifting to 4th up here kind of helps me out a bit too. I think I hit it a little bit early this time, but we're just keeping a little bit of brake pressure as we're going through this. And we're going to turn in, try and keep it on the inside of the chicane here. And we're just putting a little bit of throttle in as we hit that curb. Give it the rest of the gas. Keeping our throttle modulated, trying to keep the grip going. We're going to hit this curb too, and then we're going to hit this one on the exit. Kind of the points we're aiming for. We can go full throttle now. And we're going to start turning in for this corner. We're going to have to lift as we're coming out. And then as we kind of approach this curbing here, we're going to start hitting the brakes just a smidge. We're hitting the brakes, trying to get those front wheels to grip up so we can get our right tires onto this curbing. That's our goal going through this corner here. So we're getting down, using a lot of wheel, trying to get in here. And then once we hit this access road, we're going to pick up just a bit of throttle. So we're going to start putting a little bit of throttle in and slowly bring more in as we're coming around. One of the things I was trying to do this time with my practice was trying to make sure my exits, I wasn't tracking out just to track out. I was actually carrying the speed that required the track out. Once we hit this flag station, we are going to hit full throttle a little bit before. Yeah, we're holding full throttle and a lot of wheel, trying to keep this on the inside here. And then we're going to start opening up the wheel, carrying a lot of speed. Now, what I meant by trying to keep that speed carried through the corner and actually using, making sure I was needing all the track out was this. If I kept the wheel turned in, we'd lose grip and spin. So that's why we're having to open up here, but we've got plenty of space to track out. You can track out like all the way over here, with it being the NASCAR configuration here. And we're just gonna keep the full throttle going through it. And we're gonna get back on over to the right hand side. And this is just full throttle through here. And then as we get close, we're gonna brake a little bit before the 300 marker here. Okay, we're just gonna bring some brakes in. And we're gonna hold that pressure and then start letting it off as we start coming up to the corner. We've gotten the car slowed down. We're just using the pressure to help turn the wheels in. We've shifted down to 4th, and we're gonna start putting that throttle in as we hit the apex. And then as we open up the wheel, we're gonna put the rest of the throttle in. Again, I'm trying to make sure that I earn all the track that I'm using by carrying that speed through it. And we're gonna shift up to 5th briefly here. We're gonna come back over. We're gonna hit the brakes kind of as we get over to the left-hand side here. So we're just gonna have to brake a little bit to make sure we're gonna make this next corner here, going down to 4th, and we're gonna slowly ease off the brake pressure and bring the gas back in. I'm doing my thing where I cross over my feet a bit on this track, and I'm trying to work on getting that back out again so I don't do that quite so much. But it has seemed to work okay for me here. We're just feeding the throttle back in as we kind of hit the apex there, and then I'm gonna open up the wheel again, trying to make sure that we carry enough speed that we're using. We're making use of all this extra track that we're using. We're not just going out for the sake of going out. is one of the goals that I had on practicing this track. We'll see how much that plays into future practice going forward for other tracks. But yeah, it's just full out for the rest of the lap here as we cross the line, and we've done ourselves a 109.940. So yeah, like I said, super happy with the time, 109.940. I think that's the best this is I think probably the best I've done for one of these guides, like the fastest I think I've gotten close to one of these guys. What the fast guys are going to be doing. Feel really good about it. We'll see how it goes when we get to the races. I'm not so sure, but I don't know that I'll be able to pull off these times time and time again. One of the things I was trying to practice while I was doing my practice was, and I talked about it in the guide, is making sure that when I'm tracking out, I'm actually carrying enough speed to justify tracking out. I'm not just going all the way to the edge of the track to do it, but that actually carrying enough speed to necessitate it, I guess. And I think that helped here. We'll see if we can carry that forward into the races and into future tracks that we end up doing. But yeah. If you think I've earned it, hit the subscribe button. Thumbs up if you liked it. Thumbs down if you didn't. I get that too. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.